I think we're getting live, guys. Yes, yes, we are. Whoop, whoop. That's a good thing, right? Uh, finish up just a couple of things here. And I'm glad you're joining tonight. And I'm happy to see you guys here. So, I am getting ready to paint with you guys tonight and show you some things that I love to do and I love to paint, and I especially love fall, right? Who doesn't like fall? So I thought we would go ahead and paint some fun things for the next 7 days. I'm going to, what I wanted to do is to show you kind of my style and to show you how I paint and just kind of how I do my flow of painting, right? And how I teach. So you're going to be watching me for the next 7 evenings at 6:30 Central Standard Time, to where you can see me paint some different things. We're going to be painting on canvas, we're going to be painting on wood, we're going to be painting on some metal, and so let's just have some fun. It's not going to be really long, and it's going to be shorter, a little bit shorter tutorials. And you're going to just be watching, and we're going to be talking about the membership, the new membership, PJs and Paintbrushes with Vicki Jean. And I am Vicki Jean, and I teach painting, mainly acrylic and watercolor, to people who are just beginning to learn. They don't even have to ever have picked up a paintbrush. They want to learn, or some intermediates where they want to be joining a group and they want to paint a little bit more, bump up their skill level. So we're going to be talking about that too, but we're going to be painting. So let me change this a little bit here, and I'm going to get you an overhead view. And here we are, right? I have got, I've just kind of used a little bit of different paints. When I paint large canvases, for people and commissions, I use a better grade of paint. Right now, we're just kind of using some student grade paints, which is fine. It's all acrylic. So I'm going to show you a few of the things that I've got. Tonight we're going to paint a pumpkin. You're going to watch me paint a pumpkin and some leaves. And as you can see, I started sketching because I wanted you to be able to kind of see the design of it. And it is on a canvas. This is a 12 by 12 canvas, actually. So tonight is canvas painting. And then we're going to do a lighter color pumpkin, not our normal orange pumpkin. So we're going to do a lighter shade and have a little bit of blue in it too, with some leaves. And you're going to get a feel of how I paint and kind of the style that I use, in case you might want to join a membership, right? I'm going to see if I can get the, it looks like the comments, I hopefully, are right. And they're always a little bit, a little tricky. But let me put a little hello in here, and sometimes that bumps it up. So I'm glad you guys joined, and we're going to start painting right away. Now, tomorrow night, I'm going to reveal my new brushes. I ordered some new brushes. My brushes, if you paint along with me, you know I use the 1/2 inch flat. I'm just going to use this white. I use that all the time, as you can see on there. And then sometimes I use a 1/4 inch flat. It just kind of depends. And then I use liners and rounds. But tonight, most of this is going to be with a 1/2 inch flat brush and a liner and a 1/4 inch brush. So I've got my palette here. I'm going to put some paint on it. I've got some white on here. And we're going to use as you can see, I've got, this is a Deco Art paint. And this one is Liguana. And we're going to be changing the color of it, though, a little bit, because I want it to be a light blue. So I'm going to get some of that out, because I make a mess on the table, right? Comes with being a painter, an artist, right? Let's see what else we're going to need. We're going to need some green. And I've got Alfalfa by Folk Art. Now, on the membership, when you belong to a membership with me, I will give you, I will email you way before the painting class, the painting tutorial, I will email you the supply list. So you will have what I use, but you don't have to use that. You know, if you're like me, if you dabble here and dabble there and you've been doing it a little bit, you've got probably all kinds of paints. You know, you get them on sale, you get maybe some better paints, sometimes you don't, sometimes you get cheaper paints. So I am not the kind that, I don't want you to go out and buy, you know, a whole lot of paints and supplies. If you want to, that's fantastic, but you don't have to. Now this one's a Deco Art, and it is canary color. I've got a Folk Art, it's real brown. I could have had this done, but I wanted you to see the variety of paints I have and what I'm using. I've got another Folk Art that is, what is this one? This is linen. Yeah, I had to stop and think a minute. It's linen. It's kind of a pretty soft, light tan. You can tell I'm getting it out of there. Hopefully pretty good. There we go. We've got to make some noises once in a while, right? Okay, I'm going to leave that right there for now. This is going to be my palette for most of it. Got to get that little thing out there. Always have paper towels ready. And if you paint with me, you know that I grab a paper towel or two, and I take it and I fold it, and I create what's called like an oops. I call it an oops rag. So it's just a damp paper towel in case I make a mistake. I'm not going to freak out. You know, acrylic paint does dry pretty fast. It does. But, you know, you've got time in case you have an oops. You've got time to clean it up, kind of dampen your rag and use that. So I am looking here just a minute, see if I can get some comments going. If you are here, say hello, please, so we can get the comments going. And that way, if you have any questions about the membership, then I will be able to answer them. But we got to get the comments going. So tell me hello, please, and that'd be great. And I'll get it started. So I've got, as you can see, I have my yellow, my green, my turquoise, white, a linen color, and the darker brown, right? And I am going to add some black to it in a little bit. But the first thing we're going to do, what you're going to see, is I've got the, hi Leanne, I'm glad you joined. I've already sketched out the pumpkin. Now, on the membership, you will get a template mailed to you along with your supply list, and which is a really good deal. You can use that to paint whatever you want to that template with. You can resize these templates, and you can, and I can teach you in that where to resize those, and you can resize those real easily, and you will be able to put them on different things, right? So I did the lines here, the sketching lines, a little darker so you would be able to see what is going on here, right? And that way, if I do them too light, I can see them, but you guys can see them. So what I'm going to do first, I did go ahead, I did the base coat on the background of the canvas, and now I'm just using some white that I've got. And this white actually is an apple barrel. It's just a white paint apple barrel. I had that around too. You know, I give painting classes online and in person, and so I have a variety of paints. And like I said, I will give you colors. I give you the supply list that you will need, and most of the time when you start painting, you're going to have most of these colors, or it's real quick store trick trip to Hobby Lobby or Michael's, right? So I'm using my 1/2-inch brush, and of course you can't really see it because I'm painting white on white, but you can tell that I'm going over the lines, and I'm just kind of priming this just a little bit more to where I'm going to add some color here in just a minute. You know, pumpkins come in all sizes, all shapes, but I thought this one might lend itself pretty good because of the shape. It's a 12 by 12 canvas here. I thought it would be kind of nice to have this style of pumpkin. As you can see behind me, if you can see behind me, I'm not sure if you can or not, you might be able to see the pumpkin, another pumpkin that I painted. It's on a taller canvas. Now this week, like I said, we are going to be doing all kinds of things. We're going to not just be painting on canvas. Not everybody wants to paint on canvas. But my idea of the membership is to have fun. It's going to be just one, I'm going to put it this way, one definite painting a month. And why, you're probably asking, gosh, that's not very much. Well, I'm going to tell you, if you know me at all, you will know I will have pop-ups. And I will have pop-ups. I'm just not going to guarantee on a certain day a pop-up. And the pop-ups are going to be anything to paint. They're going to be wood. They're going to be metal. They're going to be glass. They're going to be ceramic. So they're going to be different things. So don't think that you're just going to have just exactly one thing to paint. And don't think it's just going to be on canvas. We're going to learn how to do other paintings too. So here we go. Now while this is still kind of damp, I'm going to kind of wash my brush out a little bit. And I'm going to mix, let me show you what I'm doing here. I'm going to mix my white, and I'm going to pull up a little bit of that white with my brush. Sometimes I use a palette knife, and I'm going to use a little bit of that blue. Look how pretty and soft that is. I'm going to add a little bit more blue. I want it a little bit darker than that. Not a dark turquoise, but medium shade. And see how I'm just taking my brush, kind of pulling in a little bit more white, mixing that paint right up. So while this is still damp, kind of going over it again. Leaving a little bit of white in between the sections of the pumpkin. See, I'm getting different shades. Like right then, I just dipped my brush a little bit more in the white. See, I'm getting different shades, and that's what I want. I want to do that. I want to have some different shades of the blues. And while it's wet, you can go ahead and add a little bit more white up here. While it's wet, it's kind of easier. It's much easier to shade and get it the way you like it. Kind of like that. I'm just taking the brush. You could use a larger brush. We could have used a 1-inch brush, but right now I'm just using the 1/2 inch, which is like I told you, I like that brush. I use it quite a bit. Now you might be a traditional orange pumpkin person. I'm not. I like different colors of pumpkins. Well, I love fall. I don't know about you. I love fall. And of course, I love the cooler weather, and oh my goodness, we need that, don't we? Woo-wee! It's been so warm. Been so warm. I've been trying to walk. Well, I have been walking, And, woo-wee. That's all I can say, woo-wee. It's been so hot to do anything outside. This is a nice, painting is a way to de-stress, relax, get with other people who enjoy doing the same thing. Get in a community where you learn together, you boost others' confidence too. And that's the kind of community I like to be a part of. Now the price, I haven't even told you the price yet. The price is $15, only $15 a month. It is a membership, so it's renewable every month for as long as you want. You can bow out whenever you want. We hope not, but you can. And no questions will be asked. And that's entirely up to you. I'd like to keep you in there, but don't want you to feel pressured either. I don't like that done to myself, so I would not want to do that to anybody else. See, I'm just kind of going over a little bit, smoothing out a few edges here and there, trying to make it using long strokes all the way at the top and the bottom. Get all the paint put in here. And keep it smooth. Now, if you've never painted before, this is for you. I go through brushes. We talk about that. We talk about paints. And we'll learn a lot of things. If you've never painted at all, you can learn quite a bit. And I have learned, I think, sometimes less is better. And some people, in fact, a lot of people get overwhelmed when you have too much information. I've learned that. So by saying that, I want to let you know that, like I said, in this membership, it's one painting a month. You can do one painting a month. At the first of every month, you will be mailed the supply list, everything you need, the tracer, if you want to use a tracer, or if you don't want to, that's up to you. If you are comfortable enough to sketch, that's great. That's great. You're welcome to do that. So, but at the first of the month, you will get all that. So you will have time in case you need to get some red paint or whatever it is. You'll have plenty of time to do that. And before we do the tutorial. Isn't this a soft color? Gosh, I like that. But once I get little things on there. That's a soft color. I do like that. Soften that edge a little bit more. You see, I'm just adding color, and I've got shades of a little bit darker, a little bit, I've got darker tone, medium tone, and some light tones in there. So, that's what I wanted to do. Now, I'm painting kind of quickly on this because, like I said, it is acrylic. Yes, Leanne, it is very affordable. It's very affordable. You know, just don't go to Starbucks a couple of times. That's it. It's very affordable. That's what I wanted. I wanted people to have fun, to join a group that didn't cost a lot, and, you know, just enjoy learning some painting techniques and skills. That's my goal. Okay, girls. Or guys, or whoever is watching, has anybody, I am trying to, oh, hi Susan, and hi Lynn, I see Now I got some of the comments. Hi guys, I'm glad you're joining in. If you're joining in, please put your name down. Say hello, and that way I know who is here. I'm going to do a little bit of shaping up. Now some of this will not even be shown because I'm going to show you something else we're going to do with it here in a little bit. But the bottom of the pumpkin, we kind of want a little darker color. It's kind of hidden from the sunlight. So I'm adding, as you can see, a little bit darker of the kind of the turquoise. A bit darker. I'm going to move that up a little bit. Now I'm not using anything fancy for blending this. I'm actually just using water. There's several, of course, different methods you can do to blend. You can get different products to help you blend acrylic paint to extend the time that it's wet. Right now, we're just doing it with water. Now I even have a fan running on me, so it's still working tonight. Sometimes you get around a fan, that doesn't work very well, but for some reason, my studio runs a little bit warmer than the rest of the house. So my husband, bless his heart, knew I was getting ready, and he brought me a fan in here, so I wouldn't be just sweat all over. Now I hope you guys join me. It's 6:30 each night this week, and tell your friends. You might want to join in and watch. I know if you're working after a long day of work, some people think painting is just relaxing. Now I do. I personally do. Some people don't. But the idea for the PJs and Paintbrush membership is to relax. Wear your PJs. Paint with me some. Learn some new skills. That's the idea. You know, we all need a little bit of positive things, don't we? We need something that gets our mind off of other things. Life's short. Okay, my friends. Look at that. I've kind of got it the way I like it. Yes, Susan, he's a good guy. He does help me. He was helping me try to set up the cameras and things. Sometimes it takes a couple people and to get the lighting right and all this and that, so he was very good with that. I appreciate it. Okay, guys, we've got this one here. And as you can see, I've got the pumpkin shape. And a bit of a something right there. I want to add a little bit more of a color right there. The little spot's bugging me, so I'm just going to smoothen that out a little bit better. No big deal. Just smoothing, going around that pumpkin, the shape of the pumpkin, using that, the shape of the pumpkin that I, for each section. Maybe bring it a little bit lighter at the top again. Blend in a little bit white. Because we know that would be where the sun's going to hit it. Okay. Now, it's like everything else. You could sit here and play this a long time. But we want to do some other things with this pumpkin. Just watch how I smooth that out. get the divisions in it. Guys, what's that called? What is that called when you're, what is this? Is it the spline? Is that right? Or am I thinking something else? What are those things called? The sections of, for some reason I'm thinking spline, but I'm not sure if that's right. Somebody jump on here and tell me what those sections of the pumpkin are called. There's a name for that. I can't think what it is. Yes, Susan, I'm doing a painting for 7 days starting tonight. And just so you can get to know my style and how I teach, and you'll just kind of observe and watch, and you can ask questions. We're going to talk about the membership. If you want to be a part of it, if you don't want to be a part of it, you can still join in and watch me, right? So that's what I had planned. I thought it would be a good way for you to be able to see what I do and give you some ideas of the type of painting I do, and I thought it'd be a good chance for us to, everybody to kind of just relax, sit back. I've got my coffee over here. In just a minute, I'm going to get a sip of it. And then we're going to start on another piece of this, a part of this pumpkin here. Hope everybody's being safe, being careful. Yes, I am doing it at 6:30. I do need to tell you guys, I know when I did the part of the Facebook advertisement, I was having issues with, sometimes it's glitchy with the sizing and the lettering and stuff. So if you happen to follow my page, sometimes if I redo things, that's the reason. That's the reason. So I did put on there, I might pop in ribs, that's it. Shelly, yes, it's ribs. It's not spline, it's ribs. Exactly. Thank you. Shelly knew. It makes me hungry though, but that was good. Yes, I thought, lost my train of thought now, got ribs on my mind. That sounds yummy. Okay. We're going to go ahead and move, and then I'll think of it here in a little bit. No, I know what I was going to say. I first started, one of the things I put on my post was I would maybe jump in at different times during the week on the 7 days. And then I thought, no, because most likely that if people know, it's at 6:30, then you're going to be more apt to follow along. So I will, not saying I won't do another live, but it won't probably be painting, just be talking. But as far as painting, yes, we're going to do the 7 days, and we'll be painting different things, like I said, on wood, on canvas, on metal, and then you can join in and watch and have fun. Maybe learn something new too, inspire yourself to do something, and hopefully you join the membership with me. I have a video available for a fee of the 2-day flamingo. I do. I can get back with you. I have that video, yes. And it was fun, too. We had a flamingo. Now I'm worried about pumpkins, aren't we? Okay. Here we go. I've played with it enough. Now what I want to do, I thought it would be, we got to do the stem up here. So let's go ahead and do that next. Now I've got my brown here, and I'm going to also add some, and this is apple barrel black. See guys how many different colors I have here for these? But my tutorials and my in-person classes, I use a variety of paint, different kinds. So I'm going to, I think that's, dry enough. So I'm going to go ahead and let's penciling, because I didn't go ahead and sketch the top of the pumpkin and the stem. So actually we've got the ribs here. Got the ribs now, and thanks to Shelly, right? I think it was Shelly. Yeah. Make sure. told me about the ribs. Yeah, Shelly. So now we're going to do the stem. So I'm going to start right here and kind of just sketch out a little bit. Kind of come up. I like a little crookedy stem. Come down a little bit. Over. That is pretty crooked. That's okay. And then it's going to come over here to another section of one of the ribs. We'll just pencil it in here, coming down, back up. It's kind of centered. It's centered in the, let me do it a little darker so you guys can see this. Like I said, normally when I paint, I don't do it this dark, but we're going to be using some brown and blacks, and it will cover this up. So I've kind of got it to where I like that. Might want to bring that a little fatter over here, I think. There we go. Okay, Susan, I will message you. I sure will. I'm going to use now a 1/4-inch brush. And I'm basically going to just bring in the dark brown and follow along that little sketch that I did. Fill that in. Look how cute. It's looking cute, guys. I'm not getting too picky on this because I actually want it a little bit rough, a little bit edgy. Don't want it real soft edges. Okay, now I'm going to dip. I'm using this same brush. See, I've got the brown in. That was the real brown. And I'm just dipping, kind of double dipping here. I've got black on the end of it. And while that's still damp, now I could wait for it to dry. We're just going to play with it a little bit here. On the right side, I want my color to be darker. So while this is still, and actually down here on this side, I want it a little darker. On the very bottom up next to the pumpkin. Okay. And I'm just bringing that over. So I've left my brown on one side. And I've got my black on the other side of the brown. And I pulled off some of my paint here. Just kind of bringing that together. Touching here and there. Blending that in. Now, as you can see, that's getting a little dry there. So I'm going to touch a little bit in the brown. Add me some more brown here. And just soften that. Soften it a little bit. A little bit more brown up here. Now, I told you I've not been using any type of product here to help blend. Sometimes I do, but for something like this, I'm not going to. It's not a very large area. I'm going to add a little bit of that linen color, that light tan at the very top here. Soften that, it goes down. And on this side, I'm going to add the lighter color. Just tapping, actually, different places. Taking my brush, I washed it out, and just softening that area right there between the light tan and the brown. Now, to make it even more noticeable, I've got white now. Just white, and that will start making it to pop. Kind of just touching, dabbing and touching a few places. Might have a little bit more white in some places than others. There's no right or wrong in art. It comes from your heart, it comes from your soul, what you create. And you know, there's not a right or wrong. Now, there is ways to learn more different methods, and there's maybe some appropriate ways to do that would produce some better results, but you learn by experimenting and practice. Okay, what do you think here, guys? A little darker, right under there, a little bit, just a little darker under that top of that stem. Like I said, I'm using acrylic. I'm just kind of taking on this stem and just, I'm not washing my brush out each time. Pulling a little bit of that black over on that side. A little bit more white. Now you got to be careful. You don't want to muddy. You know, muddying your paint is when you just add too many colors at once and it gets pretty muddy. So I'm going to actually leave that, I think, right now. Let that dry some. I'm going to take a little sip of coffee here. Always, it's a good thing to step back for a moment when you're painting. When I have it on the easel, I do that. And so in this case, I'm going to kind of just hold it up and I'm going to look at it and see what I need to do. Because painting, when you're painting down, and I don't have a tabletop easel that I'm using tonight because I want you to be able to see this overhead. So you have to kind of look at it a little bit differently and when you're painting. Okay. Well, now what I would like to do, I think, is do a smaller, what's our time going on here? Let's see, what did I do with my clock? Oh, we're good. Gosh, we're good. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add a little sunflower because I have some room down here. I'm not sure if I want to do anything up there much, but I'm going to add a sunflower here, I think. Part of a sunflower. And I'm just taking my pencil, sketching. Now, the thing with sunflowers, sometimes when you start painting, you know, I'm just kind of getting an idea. Just getting an idea how I want my sunflower to look. When I start painting it, I might decide something a little different. Okay. So I've got that sunflower. I think that's cute. Let's go ahead and paint that now, and that way I can kind of see, you know, what I want to do. Let me get a round brush here. Oh, where is my round brush? Like I said, I ordered some new brushes, guys. We're going to reveal them tomorrow, maybe. Okay, I'm going to have a round brush here. This is an 8 round. You can see there. And I am just dipping it. I'm going to dip it in my yellow. Working it back and forth in my brush. And make sure I get underneath the here. I'm going to start at the outside petal and just pull that towards the middle. Right? Each one is. Now normally, there again, I would not have done that as dark. My sketching pencil. You can use, a lot of times, I will use a watercolor pencil, and that way you can just kind of wash that off. But for you tonight, I wanted you to be able to see these, so And like I said, in the membership, if you're not familiar, if you're not comfortable, I guess I should say, with sketching, then every month you get a template in the mail, the very first of the month. You'll get a template, you will get the supply list and any other information that you might need in order to be able to paint when we paint together for the tutorial. So you will have that in plenty of time, and then in case you need something, in case you need some supplies or something, then you will have that. Okay, I'm going to dip my brush again in yellow, and I'm going to tip it, the end of it, with white, and the reason I'm doing that is try to get rid of some of those lines there. Just turning my canvas around as I go. We'll let that dry here in just a minute, and be adding some more colors to the petals. So I would like to know on here if you have painted before. Are you new to painting? Are you a person that wants to learn how to paint and you've not painted before? So if you are, just put never on the comment. And if you have painted some and just want to have fun and learn some more skills, then put fun down there. And that way it gives me an idea who might be watching, and if you are interested in any more painting skills. But $15 is the monthly fee. It will come out one time a month. And the sign-up, beginning sign-up, is September 10th. Now, stay tuned. I might have a little surprise on that. But right now, it is September 10th to sign up. Okay, I'm going to do the, well, we're going to leave that right now so that can kind of dry. And how about maybe a leaf or something here, I believe I need. Don't know, or maybe another sunflower down here. Gail, okay. Anybody else want to say if you've ever painted before? Remember, if you've never painted, put never. If you have painted, and put fun down for me. So then I know you have some experience painting. I think another little sunflower here, maybe a small one. I think that's what we're going to do. Do a little an oval. These are ones that's peeking behind. It's going to be a smaller one. Peeking behind the pumpkin. Yeah, I'm glad. See, you just never know. You just kind of go with your gut, and for some reason that was telling me need another sunflower here. So that's what we're doing. Make sure I'm still in focus with you guys. I'd like to start, I do like to do the starting with the petals, going towards the end of the petal, making that point, and then pushing in towards the center of the flower. Even if you go in towards the center, it's going to be covered up. You definitely don't want to not have, you know, it coming in far enough. Don't want any white canvas showing behind there. So I see some of you have put, if you have or haven't painted before, thank you. I'll come up here and add some more yellow, and it should be able to cover those lines a little bit better. Like I said, normally I do not use dark lines, but I was trying to show you guys the sketching. And if I don't darken it, you're not going to be able to see it with the lights on and things. I did another coat of yellow. I'm leaving the yellow in my brush, and I'm tipping the edge just a tiny bit in brown. That might be a little much. I'll find out here real quick. We'll start in the middle. On one side of the petals, I'm bringing that brown in. Give a little bit of depth. Yeah, some of that is too dark, so I'm going to keep working that and blending that into the petals. See how that's softening up there? See the difference between that right here and that right here? You're just kind of softening up while it's still wet. You're just softening up that paint. Using your brush, going right over it. It blends that in. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Susan. Yes. You're welcome. Now, I'm adding a little white on this. And yellow. This is probably going to be the last step. You can do sunflowers different ways. Sometimes I paint my sunflowers and I paint them more of a, little bit of an orange tint. For those type of sunflowers, sometimes I add more of a bright yellow. You know, it's just whatever you prefer, whatever you like. So all the kids, I think all of them are back in school. Now it's time to do something for you, right? That's what I think. I'm going to do the same thing on this little guy. I just tipped the bottom of it in the brown. I could have done a different color yellow, deeper yellow. I could have done orange, but I'm just using the same brown that we did for the stem. Now, like I said, I have a fan on me, so it's drying a little faster. Normally, I don't put a fan on when I'm doing the tutorials because it does dry pretty quick with acrylic. And I'm not using any kind of medium to extend the drying time. And that helps also when you do that. Add a little bit of white to my brush. Same thing, I'm going on the kind of the right side to highlight those petals. See how that just looks when you do that? The difference. The difference in those petals when you highlight a little bit. Okay, my friends. We're getting there real quickly. Now, I'm going to do the center, and I'm going to use the 1/4" brush here. I'm going to dip it into my brown. I've got my petals pretty well the way. I might play with them a little bit after a while, but right now I think I have them the way I want them. Now, doing the center, let me move my paint here just a second. Make sure I get under the, there we go. I'm trying to do the center of the sunflower here. And I'm adding little kind of bumps on the side. You know, I don't want it completely smooth. I want it to look like there's maybe seeds pushing. So I'm giving it a little bit of ridges around here. I'll go ahead and do the other one too, because I've still got paint on my brush. Getting right up next to that pumpkin. What do you guys like the blue? I kind of like it for a change, the blue pumpkin. I do. Now, if you noticed, we only used 2 colors on that pumpkin. We can come in and we can use a darker brown for the ribs. Thank you, Shelley. It's funny how you forget things. So we can do that. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Will your membership paint nights be live? Yes, Susan, they will be. And also, they will be live. And you will also have them to where, if you can't make it, you will be able to see it. You will still be able to view it later. Not everybody can make the nights. Things happen, life happens, and you can't always make it. So yes, it will be, you can have access to view those later too. 24/7 if you want. It's going to be in a private group. It's going to be whoever is in the membership. Not going to have a lot of drama. You're not going to have all that stuff. Let me see. Oh, I know, Leanne. Time is hard. It's hard to get everything together, isn't it? I don't know where the days go. I don't know where they go. I mean, seriously, where do they go? It's already fall stuff. I haven't been to Hobby Lobby lately. Well, it's been about a week ago, and of course, pumpkin spice was spilled everywhere, you know. I'm sure there's Christmas there too. I didn't notice that, but I'm sure it's there. I'm not ready yet for that. Not ready there for that. Okay, here is so far what we've got. I am going to do my liner brush here. I'm going to add a little bit of white to it. Now, not with yellow, need it with white. And on the top up here, I'm just touching up a little bit more line work with the white. So you're just adding a little bit of line right there. You can do some things like this. See how I'm just kind of spinning my brush around to make some little lines in the wood there, or the stem, and just different ways you can do that stem. I'm going to take my 1/2-inch brush and just kind of try to soften that, kind of do it quickly, because I didn't use very much water or paint. And do it kind of quickly, and just adds another little touch, just to soften it some. Around here and there, little rough places. And then in the center of this one, I add a little bit more darkness to it. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Say, Gail, you have never painted. This is a place for you. You won't be overwhelmed. You shouldn't be overwhelmed. You're with a group that is very good, supportive, and helps you with things, suggestions and all. So, okay, now I need to, as you can see, I'm going to paint just a little bit more brown in the center sections of both of these sunflowers. And I'm going to show you guys something. I wasn't going to, but I'm going to. I'm going to get a little bit of orange out here. Little dab of orange, maybe. Maybe not. These bottles are a little funny sometimes. So I'll just do it this way. I'm going to dip a bit of orange. And I want to just show you how this will make it pop too. I want to bring in some. Now, it might not be for everybody, but I want to show you the difference of just one color can make. See, we just had the yellow. Just putting in a tad bit of orange. What do you guys like? Which one do you like? Do you like the orange with it or not? Tell me in the comments if you like it or not. You don't have to use much. Soften it up some. But it does give it a little bit different look. And we play a lot. You know, you just play a lot. Play a lot, have fun, relax, wear your PJs if you want. You like the orange? Okay, good. Yeah. See, just a touch of it. You don't need a whole lot. And I'm only kind of bringing it in through one side of the flower here, of the petals. Pull in a little bit. Sometimes I get to painting and I can't think of my words. Sometimes that happens when I'm not in painting, right? I think we all run into that sometimes. That's a little bit darker than I'd like, so I'm going to add some yellow on top of that. And basically it's just a play. You're just playing with your color and your paints, getting it whatever shades that you like. Like I said, this is what I mean. There's no right or wrong. There's techniques. I like the uniqueness of when people paint because everybody does it different. Okay, see, that one does have, so look at the difference of these two. This one has a little bit more of an orange. This one doesn't. I like that. This is a smaller flower. Kind of reminds me of just a baby flower, you know, more immature flower. This is a more mature flower. And so I'm going to leave it like that. Now, we'll add some seeds here to this little guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do something probably non-traditional. Yeah, there we go. Traditional. There we go. And just a little bit of some of that pumpkin color in there. Just pull a little bit of that turquoise in this. Now, if it's too much, I will take my brush and add some water on the top and just kind of soften those colors. And it gives it a look. It pulls that color all together. Now I'm going to do the same thing with some white. A little bit of dots here and there. And you can pull some out if you want to on the petals. So there's different ways you can make these too, but like this. I like pulling in a little bit of that blue onto the center of the sunflowers. I'm just kind of pouncing. Taking my round brush and just pouncing around. Now I'm going to dip a little bit in black. And at the bottom, I'm going to add some of the black here. We've been on an hour. It's kind of my goal, so I wasn't going to keep you guys very long, but show you a little bit of how I paint and get you an idea of how I teach. Now, tomorrow night, we are going to be painting on a bucket. We're going to do a bucket painting. So, it's going to be a fall bucket. So I hope you can join me. Thank you for joining me tonight. I will probably add a little bit of leaves down here, something, and I'll show you tomorrow when I get done with it. But I wanted to my goal was to keep it about an hour for you to just to see the style of paintings I do and how I am teaching. So if you want more information about the membership that will start in September, then you can always message me. Follow my page if you haven't followed my page. Do that so that way you will be notified of what's going on, right? And until then, I will see you guys tomorrow night at 6:30, where we'll be painting on a bucket. And it's a small bucket. Well, I have two buckets. I have a small and a large one. We'll just see what the time is, and we'll go from there. So thanks for joining me, guys, and I hope everybody has a good night. Much love. Bye-bye.